Good morning. On a very late morning, actually, it's 6 a.m. and I've left Barcelona on Norwegian Epic, NCL, Norwegian Cruise Line Epic, which is a 6,000 person passenger boat serviced by just over 2,000 crew. So what I thought we'd do this morning would be just explore the boat, because we've got a few days on board. So I've just found a wayfinder here, and I'm actually, my stateroom's on the 8th level. So what I thought we might do is we might start on the 5th level and then work our way up to the 15th. Some of them aren't going to have anything major points of interest on them because they're just going to be stateroom ones. So she's got 15 levels, clearly from 4 and below, a crew or, you know, engines and all that type of thing. So I'll walk down from the 8th floor to the 5th floor and we'll start exploring that area. So I've walked down 2 flights of stairs to the 6th level. I wanted to get down to the 5th level, but the stairway is roped off. So I'll have to figure out how I'm going to get down there to the 5th level. So as we walk on this level, we'll see the Manhattan, which is a complimentary restaurant, several different bars. We'll walk through the casino, which is probably one of the biggest that I've actually seen on any of the boats. Oceans, which is a, basically it's open 24 hours a day. It's an Irish pub type setting. Headliners Comedy Club. Spiegel tent, that sometimes they do not only shows, they can do like trivia and competitions and stuff in there. The Epic Theatre, which is a standard theatre on every ship, but this time, because there's so many people, you actually sometimes have to make a booking to go into the theatre. So let's go for a walk. So we have the Cavern Club, which is a reproduction of the Beatles era, which is in the middle of the casino. So we have Shanghai, which is a complimentary dining, and the Noodle Bar. We had that last night, it was just beautiful. So after walking through a portion of the casino, because there's another portion of it on the other side of this Atrium area, and this this chandelier, the centre of it changes colour, pink and red, and it's green and orange. It's just beautiful. And down below there is the central dining room area, which is called Taste. So I'll keep wandering over this way. So as I'm walking to the middle of the boat now, and then I see these escalators, they will take me down to the 5th floor, but we'll finish exploring the 6th floor first before we go down there. So most likely from my end, you just couldn't get access because of the Taste restaurant, potentially, that's why no access. So let's keep going. So I've walked out of the casino completely now and come across Oceans. And Oceans is a Irish-themed pub that serves breakfast, lunch, dinner and tea. It never really closes, probably about half an hour between services just to turn the place around, but and the menu does alter a little bit. The breakfast menu, they do stop serving at about 11 a.m. or something like that, but often, if you are looking for me, this will be like a central meeting place. If you had a lot of friends who are night owls, for example. And on this boat, it actually has a bowling alley. That green and blue that's changing to the back there is actually a bowling alley. And it has a variety of different settings and dining stuff. You can be by yourself. Down there is a bar, an area where you normally do trivia and stuff like that in the Atrium type space. And there's a central screen there, and today it's got who the different staff are. Would you lay with me?
Do you like games about gladiators?
That's the bowling alley area. The words Beautiful music playing over the whole ship. And so this one, we've come to the area that is the comedy club, Headliners Comedy Club, and that only opens late in the evening, really. Walking beside here, I think this is Spiegel. Just looking at the type of decoration that's, yep, so that's the Spiegel tent. Come to the box office section where you can book the different shows. And this is the entrance to the Epic Theatre. And you can see the shows that are on at the moment. Burn the Floor, Priscilla. Priscilla is fantastic. I've seen it a couple of times. And Cirque, I think you actually have to pay a premium of about $40 for regular seating, a little more for closer seating. But that's the 6th floor. Let's cruise down and find the 5th floor and explore that one. So I was able to gain access via the stairs to the 5th level. So we see here it's got meeting rooms, access to the theatre, the photo gallery. On this boat you're allocated a folio, a letter and a number, so you know where your photos are going to be. Card room, library and internet. The bistro, that's a restaurant that you have to pay either a la carte or a set price. The art gallery, that's normally Park West, so it's the art auctions. Shore excursions of Future Cruise. The Atrium bar, often there's a coffee shop, so we'll go and explore that as well. Studio, I think, is the professional photography one. Guest services and Taste Restaurant is the complimentary one that's got that modern decor. So we're just walking through the art gallery here, and we can see the sign that the art auction starts tomorrow, and the Bliss Lounge on deck 7 at 1. And what that does is they give you a little bit of a spiel about who the different artists are, and they might feature a different artist each time. And this is when you can kind of get a free drink and that type of thing, but that free drink could end up costing you a lot of money if you keep raising your hand. So here's the Click photo gallery. And you go through and you can choose the photos electronically that you want. Because it's out of hours, I wouldn't be able to gain access to my folio. As I say, on your cruise card it will give you a guide to where it is. Bookcase 18, for example, 205. So it's not necessarily related to your room number, it's just the one that you've been allocated. I see over here some different souvenir ideas, and this one looks quite cute. So all the theme of the towel animals, and you've got a photo frame in it. But if you did forget to bring your camera, or you're ready for an upgrade or some different camera or services, or you need a USB extension or a new card, those type of things are things that are available in Click's photo. So just opposite Click's the photo gallery is Le Bistro, which is the French themed restaurant. And on their bill of fare here, it has what the choices are on the menu and the pricing structure. So the Napoleon Niçoise is $5 US. That's the desserts. That looks really, really good. And entrees, for example, this medallion of something or other, veal potentially, is $18. So if you want to have a special occasion, celebrating an anniversary or something, wedding, birthday. So there's wayfinders throughout the boat, which is really, really helpful. And then we come across to that central atrium area. There before we saw that that screen from upstairs in Oceans. And now we have, I think, excursions, guest services, And this is more the Atrium Cafe. This is more of a coffee one. You can purchase liquor here, but this one's predominantly the coffee shop type area, and the meeting rooms are back there. And this is the reason why I couldn't get access from the back end, from the aft end, because this is a Taste Restaurant, which is a modern themed restaurant. It's still the same menu as the other restaurant, but you can see its decor is just a lot brighter and lighter. And then you can just see peeking down there the bottom of that chandelier that we saw from up the top, and the casino. So that's Taste Restaurant, and it's deck 5. So let's go up to deck 7 now and have an explore there. So I've walked up to the 7th floor, and you can just notice the lighting is very harsh on near these wayfinders. So the walking track is actually out here on the 7th deck, but it's blocked off, so I won't be able to go there right at this minute. So I've got Bliss Ultra Lounge, Trade Winds, so the duty-free shops, ice bar. Yeah, I think it's a premium, and you get 1 or 2 drinks. You get to, the actual room is a freezer, so you get to put on a kind of parka over vest thing. Wasabi and Teppanyaki have a cover fee for them. Shaker's Martini Bar, you can do all the lessons for about $19 or $20. You get about 4 martinis and you learn how to do them. The humidor, yeah, the smoking room. It smells even though we're walking past it without even being in the humidor. More shops, the barber shop, Cagney's is a premium Moderno, a premium restaurants that you pay a little bit extra for, but both of them are just amazing. The filet mignon at Cagney's, I've had it a few times over the years, and the Moderno. So they bring different 5 or 6 to 8 different meats, and you just choose at different times what meat you want, sausage or chicken or, you know, etc. And one thing I can say, don't fill up on sausage. Go for the premium cuts of meat, don't fill up on sausage, but that was just a hint that I was given initially. So the Bliss Ultra Lounge is a lounger bar area, but it has restricted access for children. It has this chainmail decor. It's actually really quite beautiful, quite impressive. And I don't know if you can see right down through this deck there, and you can see maybe at the end there. No, I can't zoom in on the selfie mode. That's the central atrium back there, and these absolutely beautiful chandeliers here are just gorgeous. And this one's just over the box office space. So we're on the 7th deck, and this is basically shopping boulevard. So Trade Winds, all of the different shops. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:30 in the morning. It's just not open, but this is a once again busy area. So I'm not sure if you can actually see behind me in those windows, there's 2 teppanyaki tables, which is a U-shaped table with a hot plate in between, and that's where the chef does his little show about chopping things and throwing things in the air and juggling. So that's the teppanyaki. The access is over here through these other little restaurants, Wasabi and the sushi bar. I've been on this boat before, and I never had an opportunity, or did not get an opportunity to go into Ice Bar, so I will do that this time. And for paying the price, the premium, whatever it is, you get a choice of these drinks here. It's just a set thing. This is the whiskey bar, and the humidor is just through that way. So this is not the Martini Bar, this is the Martini Bar, not the whiskey bar. This is Shaker's. So this one over here must be the whiskey bar. going down there, but before we get there, this is Wasabi. And Wasabi, for example, has a premium price, but it doesn't have the prices on it there. So that's this place, and then the sushi bar just over there. So there is a lot of variety. The other thing that there are a lot around the boat is these wayfinders about different activities that are on, and there are also TV screens that tell you what restaurants are available and if they're busy, etc. So there's always information. You just have to know where to look for it. And oh yeah, this one's the whiskey bar. Behind there you can see all the whiskey bottles. And the decor of this one is that little bit darker, richer type feel to it. And the other thing I noticed as I was walking down the other day, yesterday, it has these beautiful chairs, these beautiful armchairs, which are just divine. Walking past the barber shop. And to the end here we've got Cagney's and Moderno. And it has the menu choices just here. The filet mignon, the bacon, the flank, the rib, the chicken, the sirloin, just beautiful. So they share the same space. One side is Moderno and one side is Cagney's. And it's got the pricing here. So you buy your meat, you buy your sides, choose your sides. Just wonderful. So that is the 7th level. Let's go and find the 8th. Actually, 8th and 9th are just rooms, so we'll go up to 10, I suspect. Let's go over here to this wayfinder. 10 is the medical centre and staterooms, so 11 is staterooms and studio lounge. Okay, studio lounge. So what happens on this boat is there are rooms that are for single occupancy. There's not many of them, and what they do is they are located clearly on 2 decks, and they share a central lounge area. So they'll have a bedroom and a bathroom, but they don't have that larger space. So they have a communal area. So that's the studio lounges. So that's on 11 and 12. View bridge from the room. Let's go to the viewing bridge. Maybe we can do something there, and then we'll go up to 14 and 15. So really there's nothing much except for accommodation on the most of the middle of the boat. So let's just head up to. There is a 13 on this boat. Remember other ones we've gone through, there wasn't a 13. So before I actually leave the 7th deck, I noticed that there was no barrier over the door to outside. And so this is the walking track. And it is on the same level as the tender boats. But there are no staterooms on this level. So each boat is, morning. Each boat is built very differently, and so this one being purpose built, all you've got is on this level is bars, etc. So you're not having a obstructed view. The words. So you can only walk up one side of the boat, and then you can't walk across. So it's an up and down path. This one has the shuffleboard and quoits on it, so I'm not sure if the one on the other side is just a walking track as well, so I'd have to investigate that. But one thing, you come out, and of course there's always going to be an allocated space for smokers, and this deck is it, so it's a little bit uncomfortable sucking in the fumes of other people's cigarettes. I've just arrived onto the 9th deck, and I noticed from the stairwell these pictures, and these pictures reminded me that the last time I was on the boat, This lift well area and stairwell area was the one that was closest to my stateroom. So this is how we orientated ourselves. So the current one we've got is a bowling theme. 3 photos, bowling shoes, bowling pins and a bowling ball. So this is a gorgeous little pictorial representation or reminder of where you are. Huffing and puffing just down the stairs a little bit. So we do have a deck 13 on this boat, and starboard and port, the different staterooms, odds and evens. So this one here, the bridge viewing room, let's aim for that. We'll just have to walk through the corridors that are people's staterooms. So I've arrived on deck 14 and it appears to be predominantly staterooms as well as the kids club. Splash Academy. Now what I noticed on this wayfinder, on this deck 14, it actually has 2 extra decks. So clearly the other wayfinder didn't have access to these. So the Entourage, the Kids Club, the Haven Suites and the Sports Complex. So 17 decks at the back end, we're at 15 decks at the front end. So we're just here. So we'll go for a walk on 14 and see if we can find the fitness centre, the spa, and have a look at the outside of a couple of these restaurants. Just walking on deck 14 and I came across this stateroom and somebody's got their magnets, which is a good thing to do, and they've done a little laminated sign about the itinerary. If you want to leave messages for Cynthia. How cute is that?
Morning to service.
So somebody has ordered room service breakfast this morning and housekeeping is just bringing that.
Morning to service.
So my little bit of a tour did get a bit waylaid, but these are just another couple of the eateries. So it was the garden cafe inside, which is the buffet style. Out here is like snacks and burgers through the day. And I'm just going to come over here and hopefully the vision will be able to give some justice. Oh, I don't think it is. Sunrise over the Atlantic between sunrise over the Atlantic. Self-service tea and coffee area up here on this deck. This is a bar, I think it's called Waves. Yes it is, it's the Waves bar. So that services the pool deck area. Over on this side is where you get your towels from for the swimming pool. And this is the area where they would have had the sail away party. So you've got splash pools and water slides. I think you've got 2 or 3 different types of water slides on this one. There's a purple, a green and a yellow. And your smoking area is over there. So I'll keep having an explore. Just absolutely beautiful. So I've just changed the shutter speed of the camera to see if I can actually get a decent vision of this beautiful sunrise as I get blown away here. So I've moved my ISO to 400. Don't know if you can hear that wind, it was just phenomenal. So I just popped in here to the garden cafe just because I'd dropped those people off, helping them find their way. And I noticed as I'm just sitting here watching the beautiful sunrise, is this signage just here. And I recall yesterday the sign said buffet tonight was Spanish yesterday, Spanish night, because we were in Barcelona, and tonight is Italian night. So that's a little advertising prompter to let you know if you don't want to eat in one of the other restaurants, the formal dining, that there's going to be a variety of different food for you over the course of the cruise. So I ran into Chuck and Marie again when I came into the Garden Cafe. Chuck was a little distressed, so helped him find Marie and moved him over to where they were together. So I've just grabbed a little bit of a snack here, so starting with the French pastry and the bagel I had to put through about 15 times to get it crispy. Anyway, this is breakfast. So we see if we can play a little game of where in the world. Behind me there is a coastline, and that is the coastline of Spain. So we're actually at a point that is halfway between Valencia to the north and Malaga in the south. And Barcelona is still is further north of Valencia. So where in the world am I? I'm off the Spanish coast. The sunrise has risen beautifully this morning, and I don't know what today's going to bring, but it's going to be exciting. There wasn't much trivia on the notices. Only one in the evening, and a music one that I didn't know the artist well, so we'll just have to wait and see how that pans out. So I'm cruising here on the 15th deck, which is the pool deck of NCL Epic. If I had some sails, I would just, it's very, it's very windy, very blowy. So there doesn't look to be much of a walking track up there, and holding the camera really tightly. And there's a couple of the different rides, one that goes spiralling downwards, and a yellow one and a red one there. I should come and film when the Aqua Kids got water in it. It's just so beautiful, but I don't know if they'll put water in it over the transatlantic. A few little sea creatures there. You've got one of the guys that looks like he was from Ariel or something like that. A little bit of a slippery slide with shells. It's got this Caribbean theme, this Caribbean theme. Just spectacular. Okay, feels like Sub-Zero here. A bit of rain coming, I feel. So up there is like the basketball court, and somewhere on the boat is going to be a golf area where you kick the golf balls into the ocean. I don't know what that's about, but anyway. And behind me is a rock climbing wall. It has a couple of different levels, but I don't see that I will be on that at all. And then comes down here into the splash H2O, or Spice H2O, but let's just go and have it explore down here. This is actually the lift wells that service my end of the boat. So it's Spice H2O, S-P-I-C-E, Spice H2O. And there looks to be a pool that they can set up there. On those two platforms a little higher up, there looks to be two bars. That one there looks to be like a jumping trampoline or something of that nature, and climbing area for kids. So this is the back of Norwegian Epic, so I must be on like the 15th deck. Oh, there's a jacuzzi, but it's closed at the moment. There's one on the other side as well. Nothing better than a wake.